Hi, second and third grade. So spring break is beginning, which means we aren't going to get a chance to finish the last Firehawk. So I told your classes that I would make a video finishing it in case you guys couldn't wait to find out what's happening next. So a few of the classes might be a bit ahead of this spot, but I am going to start off when Gray shouts that they are under attack. I must gather the owls of Valor. Can I come? Tag asked. Gray held up a wing. You two stay with a Firehawk. Skyla nodded. We'll keep her safe. But I can fight, Tag cried. Gray shook his head. There are more ways to protect our forest, Tag. It is not always the biggest or strongest owls who become owls of valor. Keep the Firehawk safe and hidden. There is only one reason Thorn would have a Firehawk egg. He wanted this Firehawk to lead him to the Ember Stone. We can't let Thorn find her. Gray disappeared into the trees as a dark cloud filled the sky. The owls of Valor flew overhead in their shining armor. Come on, Skyla said, pulling at Tag's wing. We have to hide the Firehawk. Skyla and Tag tried to lift the baby bird. Tag groaned. She's too heavy. Hundreds of tiger bats circled above. Their orange eyes glowed in the darkness. Skyla loaded her slingshot. Thorn's army is coming for the Firehawk. We can't let them find her, Tag said, grabbing a heavy stick. Tag leaned in to speak to the trembling baby bird. Can you fly? He asked. The Firehawk gave a small peep. Tag moved his wings up and down slowly so as not to scare her. Can you do this? Tag wasn't sure Firehawks could fly. The baby bird ruffled her feathers but stayed on the ground. I guess not, said Skyla. Tag sighed. Let's hide in the grove. It's close by. The thick bushes should help hide her bright feathers. Tag and Skyla hurried through the trees. The Firehawk wobbled on unsteady legs as they led her into the grove. The baby bird peeped, flapping her wings. Stay quiet, Tag whispered. Suddenly, squawk! A tiger bat dived down. Skyla fired a pinecone at its head. Stay back, she shouted, hitting it between the eyes. The tiger bat flew dizzily away. Tag held the stick tightly. A tiger bat crashed through the trees, then another. Their sharp beaks snapped at Tag and Skyla. Clack, clack, clack. Skyla darted up a tree to shoot acorns. She moved so fast she was a blur. I have to lead them away from the Firehawk, Tag thought. He rushed to the other side of the grove. The larger tiger bat followed. Tag lifted the stick and jabbed it at the tiger bat. Squawk, squawk! He's calling the others, Skyla, Tag yelled. Get ready! Skyla shot acorns from her branch, but each time she hit one bat, another landed nearby. Tag swung the heavy stick with trembling wings. He couldn't hold it much longer. There are too many, Skyla cried. Thorn's army moved in. So there's Skyla with her slingshot. Tag with his stick. Tag was surrounded. He took a step backwards, then screw! The tiger bats spun around. They watched as the Firehawk ran out from the bushes. Screw! She called, her glowing wings held high. There was a flash of light and heat. Tag covered his eyes. He heard the whoosh of many wings. Then all was quiet. When he looked again, the tiger bats were gone, and so was the dark cloud. Chapter 8. Blaze. Skyla scurried down from the tree. Where did Thorn's army go? Tag blinked. The Firehawk scared them away. The baby bird gave a happy little peep. Her gold and red feathers ruffled in the breeze. That was amazing, Tag said to the Firehawk. Hey, we should name you. How about Blaze? I like it, Skyla grinned. Blaze gave another peep. Now let's find Gray, Tag said. Tag, Skyla, and Blaze hurried through the woods. They hid as best they could in case Thorn's spies were still close by. Tag was glad to see there was not much damage in camp. A few nests had been destroyed and the armor hut had been knocked over, but that was it. Tag led his friends to Gray's tree. Scree! Gray landed beside them. I've been looking for you, Gray said, opening the door. Quickly, bring your new friend inside. Her name is Blaze, Tag said. Gray smiled. It suits you, he told Blaze. Tag had never been inside Gray's nest before. Wooden steps led to the very top of the tree, opening into a room filled with books. Mrs. M's favorite kind of room. There's Gray's library. What happened? Gray asked. Thorn's army found us, Tag said. We tried to fight, but they surrounded us. Then Blaze screeched. She saved us, Skyla added. Thorn's army disappeared. The cry of the Firehawk, Gray said. It must have scared them away. They were looking for her, weren't they? Tag asked. Yes, I was afraid of this, Gray said. Thorn won't give up now that he knows Blaze has hatched. We must find the Ember Stone before Thorn does. We will need it in order to defeat him. Maybe our only weapon against his dark magic. You should call the Owls of Valor right away, Tag said. We need that stone. Gray put a wing on Tag's shoulder. This is not a job for the Owls of Valor, he said. Only this Firehawk, along with you and Skyla, can find the stone. Chapter 9. Adventure Calls. Tag looked at Blaze. Then he turned back to Gray. Do you really think a barn owl, a squirrel, and a baby bird can battle Thorn? We need the Ember Stone, Tag, Gray said. Blaze already trusts you and Skyla, and it is Blaze who will find the stone. Tag knew what he had to do. We'll do it, he said. Skyla, Blaze, and me. We will go to Fire Island and find the stone. Gray smiled. Then he quickly searched through some papers on his desk. He pulled out a rolled-up piece of paper and gave it to Tag. This will show you the way. Tag tucked it beneath his wing. Gray opened a large cabinet filled with weapons. He turned, holding up 2 sets of armor. One for Tag, made of silver. One for Skyla in bronze. I had these made for you. I think that's what they're wearing on the front cover. You can see Tag is in silver. Skyla's in bronze. Tag tried his on. It fit perfectly. How did you know we would need armor? I am very old, Gray smiled. There is not much that I do not know. He handed Tag a golden dagger. It felt lighter than a feather. Wow, Tag said, this blade is sharper than a tiger bat's beak. This is for you, Skyla. Gray gave Skyla a slingshot made from the finest wood. She grinned. I'll be able to shoot even faster now. What about Blaze? Tag asked. Her feathers are stronger than any armor, Gray said, and you've seen how fearsome her cry is. Tag and Skyla nodded. Sleep here tonight, Gray continued. I'll be on the lookout for Thorn's spies, so I won't see you off. Keep your weapons close at all times. And remember, Thorn could attack at any moment. Good luck. Gray flew away into the night. Tag gripped his dagger. He felt a shiver of excitement as he looked at Skyla and Blaze. Tomorrow, we head for Fire Island, Tag said, where no owl or squirrel has gone before. So if we look back at the map, you can see there's Fire Island down to the south. Chapter 10, Fire Island. The next morning, Tag readied their supplies. He packed nuts, berries, and his favorite snack, worms. He also packed a large water pouch. Ready? Skyla asked, wearing her new armor. Tag grinned. Ready. They woke up a sleepy Blaze and set off along the winding path through Valor Wood. Tag smiled as he glided through the trees. He was ready for an adventure. They traveled for hours, the cool breeze at their backs. Suddenly, ow! Skyla cried, hopping up and down. Something bit me. Tag landed and looked at the ground. Why is this soil red and not brown? Blaze stomped her feet. The ground is moving, Skyla cried. Tag took a closer look. The ground isn't moving. It's covered in prickle ants. Tiny red ants covered the soil. Their eyes were bright orange, just like the tiger bats. Thorn's spies, Tag said. They're climbing all over me, cried Skyla. The 3 friends hopped along, trying to escape, but the prickle ants crawled up their legs, biting and stinging. We'll have to jump in the water to wash them off, Tag shouted, as they reached a fast-flowing stream. I can't swim, Skyla cried. I can't either, Tag said, but it's not deep. Tag led Skyla and Blaze into the cool water. They all climbed out as fast as they could. It worked, Tag said, shaking water from his feathers. You can see the prickle ants. That doesn't sound like very much fun. Skyla squeezed water out of her tail. Yes, but if the ants found us, that means Thorn knows where we are. Tag shivered. He didn't like feeling that Thorn was so close by. You're right, we need to hurry. Tag pulled out Gray's paper. Gray said this would show us the way. Maybe it's a map? I don't understand, Skyla said, looking over Tag's shoulder. It's blank. Look, Tag gasped as a small dot appeared on the paper. It grew bigger as he watched. There were shapes of land and water and names of places he had never heard of. It is a map. Blaze tapped the map with her beak. She hopped toward a path. I think Blaze wants us to go that way. I wonder what makes the map appear. It's interesting. The friends followed the path for hours. Finally, they reached the edge of the forest and looked out over a wide sea. Far in the distance was an island. It looked like a mountain rising from the sea. Is that it? Skyla asked, peering across the dark, choppy water. Tag nodded. Fire Island. Chapter 11. Over the Waves. Skyla looked out across the waves. Fire Island seems very far away, she said. How do we get to it? Tag frowned. He was too tired to fly such a long way. Skyla and Blaze couldn't fly at all. I'm not sure, but we've come so far, he said. There must be a way across the water. Peep, Blaze called, peering over a rock at the water's edge. What is it? Tag asked as he and Skyla hurried over. A large, wrinkled turtle smiled up at them. Hello, I'm Thaddeus. The turtle spoke very slowly. Then Thaddeus saw Blaze. A firehawk. I haven't seen a firehawk for a very long time, he sighed. There used to be lots of them, but not anymore. Where did they go? Skyla asked. I do not know, said Thaddeus. Many years ago there was a big storm, the biggest I have ever seen. The sky grew so dark that even the firehawk's bright feathers were hidden. There was a great battle between the firehawks and an old and powerful vulture. There's Thaddeus. The battle he's talking about. I think we know who that vulture is. Thorn, Tag said. Thaddeus nodded. After the storm, the firehawks were never seen again. He turned to Blaze. Until now. Tag pointed to Fire Island. We need to get over there. Can you help us? Thaddeus smiled. I'd be happy to help a firehawk and her friends. The three friends climbed onto Thaddeus's shell. They held tightly onto one another as Thaddeus sailed over the waves. Chapter 12. Not Alone. The sun was setting as they reached the beach. Thanks, Thaddeus, said Tag. Call when you need me, said the old turtle as he shuffled away. What now? Skyla asked. Let's explore the island, said Tag. Tag sniffed. A smoky smell filled the air. He wiped a wing across his face. He missed the cool shade of Valor wood. Fire Island is really hot and quiet. Where are all the animals? I bet Thorn scared them away, Skyla said. Thorn's darkness is spreading, Tag said. The trunks of some nearby palm trees were gray and crumbling. Peep! Blaze prodded Skyla. Skyla looked up at the trees. The fruit is all rotten. Black bananas and mangoes hung from the branches. I'm glad we packed our own food, said Tag. Let's eat, said Skyla. I'm starving. Tag opened the sack. He gulped down some worms and handed Skyla and Blaze some nuts to eat. Where are the berries? Skyla frowned as she peered inside. They're all gone, and so is the map. Blaze peeped, flapping her bright wings. What is it? Tag asked. Skyla grabbed her slingshot. Tiger bats? Tag pulled out his dagger. I'll take a look. He flapped up into the long gray palm leaves. The branches creaked. Two small spider monkeys stared back at him. They had brown fur and long bushy tails. Their white faces were covered in berry juice. One of them held up the special map that Gray had given Tag. Hey, that's ours, Tag shouted. The monkeys giggled. Give that back, Skyla called up to them. The monkeys leaped to another tree, then scurried away from the beach. Tag, Skyla, and Blaze raced up the rocky mountainside after them, toward the very top of Fire Island. Chapter 13. Spies? Well, here's the picture of the spider monkeys. Kind of cute. The spider monkeys hurried up the mountain. Tag, Skyla, and Blaze followed. The higher they climbed, the smokier the air became. When they reached the top, Tag saw why. Fire Island is a volcano, he cried. That must be why it's called Fire Island, said Skyla. Her tail twitched. It's not going to blow, is it? Tag paused. I hope not. Do you think the monkeys are Thorn's spies? Skyla whispered as they continued to chase them. Tag shook his head. I don't think so. They don't have orange eyes. All of a sudden, Blaze peeped and hopped back and forth. The monkeys had stopped to catch their breath. Hey, Skyla called. She shot a stone into the trees above. The monkeys jumped. They dropped the map as they scurried away. Skyla picked it up. Beside it was a long golden feather. Look at this, she said, holding up the feather. That looks like one of Blaze's feathers, but bigger, Tag said. Maybe there are firehawks on the island after all. Tag put the feather into his sack as Blaze peeped behind him. Tag and Skyla turned around to see a large red rock painted with bright, beautiful birds. Birds that looked just like Blaze. Tag stepped up to the rock. Some of it was covered in black sand. He brushed it away with his wing. Firehawks, Tag said. It looks like these pictures tell a story. There were 4 paintings. The first showed so many firehawks that Tag couldn't count them. A large firehawk with golden feathers on his head stood in the middle. He must be their leader, Tag thought. The leader held a large purple stone. The Ember Stone, Skyla whispered. She pointed to the next painting. It showed the Ember Stone glowing purple. Tag moved over to the third painting. He tried to brush the sand away, but it was stuck. I wish we could see this picture. The fourth painting showed Thorn, surrounded by a dark, swirly cloud. Thorn, Tag shuddered. Even in the painting, Thorn and the shadow looked scary. We need to find that stone, Skyla said. Where should we look, Tag said. The paintings show the stone, but there are no clues about where it is hidden. We'll just have to search the whole island, said Skyla. The friends searched all day. Tag looked behind every rock. Skyla climbed every tree. Even Blaze helped, digging holes with her feet. Maybe the Ember Stone is not here after all, Skyla grumbled. We've looked everywhere. Blaze rested her head on Skyla's shoulder. Then Tag looked up. We haven't searched everywhere. You see where he's looking? Chapter 14. Into Danger. Tag flew to the mouth of the volcano. Skyla and Blaze chased after him. You think it's in there? Skyla asked, peering over the ledge. Hot lava bubbles sizzled and popped inside. I'm going to fly down into the volcano, Tag said, taking off his armor. Skyla's eyes went wide. Tag, you can't go in there. Peep! Blaze cried. Peep, peep, peep. Tag patted Blaze's head. It's our last chance, he said as he stepped up to the ledge. Tag flew down into the volcano, his tummy flip-flopping. He felt so hot he might melt. He looked along the walls for the purple stone. The Ember Stone must be here somewhere, Tag thought. He flapped to and fro, moving as close as he dared to the volcano's red-hot edges. I can't stay in here much longer. Then he saw something at the very bottom of the volcano, on a small rocky ledge. I think I see it, he called up to his friends. His heart beat as fast as his wings. But as Tag flapped closer, a big lava bubble popped below. Ow, he cried, as hot lava splashed his wing. Tag flew up out of the volcano and landed beside his friends. It's no good, he said. I can't reach the ledge. I'm a great climber. Maybe I can climb down, Skyla replied. Tag nodded. Just be sure to move fast. Those walls are hot. Skyla scurried down into the volcano, gripping the rocky wall with her claws. She got near the bottom but slipped. The tip of her tail dipped into the lava. Ow, Skyla cried, scrambling out of the volcano. Tag's tried. Skyla's tried. Are you okay? Tag asked as Skyla landed safely on the ground. I think so, Skyla said. As Tag examined Skyla's tail, Blaze hopped onto the ledge. She leaned to look inside, then glanced back. Peep, she called. Tag and Skyla turned just as Blaze leaned too far forward. The Firehawk fell down, down, down into the volcano. Blaze! Tag flew after her. He looked and looked. I can't see her anywhere, Tag said. This is all my fault, Skyla cried. Tag shook his head. We both should have been watching her. We promised Gray we would keep her safe. Suddenly, there was a loud screech. Blaze flew out of the smoky volcano with flaming wings. She was holding something in her beak. Blaze, Tag cheered. Blaze has the Ember Stone. Chapter 15, The Ember Stone. Blaze dropped to the ground. She was covered in ash. Skyla brushed Blaze off. I'm so glad you're okay, she said, hugging Blaze. How are you okay? Blaze's feathers must have protected her, Tag said. He fed Blaze sips of water from the water pouch. Remember what Gray told us? Her feathers are stronger than any armor. Besides, Firehawks are born in flame. I guess lava can't hurt her. That's why only a Firehawk could find the Ember Stone. It was hidden inside a fiery volcano, Skyla said. Blaze gave a little peep and smiled. And it turns out you can fly, Tag said. Tag and Skyla crowded around to examine the Ember Stone. Skyla squinted. It's smaller than I thought it would be. Yes, agreed Tag, remembering the rock paintings. This stone is small, with sharp, jagged edges. But the Ember Stone in the painting was large and round. Thaddeus knew the Firehawks. Maybe he knows something about the Ember Stone too, Skyla suggested. The three friends rushed to the shoreline. Thaddeus! Tag called across the water. Blaze joined in. Peep! Peep! There he is, cried Skyla, jumping up and down. A large green head rose from the water. Hello, the old turtle said. We're hoping you might know something about this. Tag held up the Ember Stone. Have you seen it before? Thaddeus scrunched up his eyes. He stared at the stone for a long time. The Ember Stone, Thaddeus said finally. The Firehawks wanted to keep it hidden from Thorn. They tried to destroy it so that he couldn't use its powerful magic. But the stone could not be destroyed. Instead, it broke into pieces. The Firehawks hid the pieces far and wide so that Thorn would never find them. That's why this stone is so small, Skyla said. It's just one piece of the Ember Stone. How many pieces are there? Tag asked Thaddeus. The only animal who might know that is a Firehawk, Thaddeus said. Tag, Skyla, and Thaddeus all looked at Blaze. Here's everybody. Chapter 16, Return of the Firehawk. I wish Blaze could speak, Tag said as they all sat on the beach with Thaddeus. I'm sure she'd tell us what to do. Peep, Blaze replied. This Firehawk is still young. Oh. This Firehawk is still young, Thaddeus said. She will speak soon enough. We should head back to Valor Woods, said Skyla. Gray will know what to do next. Tag shook his head. I can't let Gray down now. I'll never become an Owl of Valor. We may not have found the whole Ember Stone, but we did find part of it, Skyla said, putting a paw on his wing. That's got to count for something. This piece is powerless without all the other pieces, Thaddeus told them. Peep! Blaze nudged Tag with her beak. Skyla jumped up. That's it. We'll search for the other pieces. But we don't know where they are, Tag said as he pulled out Gray's map. Skyla unrolled it on the sand, but the wind kept blowing it away. Here, use this. Tag placed the piece of Ember Stone onto the map to hold it in place. Suddenly, the map glowed, brighter and brighter. It was so bright Tag had to cover his eyes with his wings. When Tag looked again, a small shining dot appeared on the map, far away from Fire Island. Blaze tapped the dot with her beak. Tag took a closer look. He hugged Blaze. Gray said the map would show us the way. Tag pointed at the dot. That must be where the next piece of Ember Stone is. Skyla peered at the map. This is going to be a long journey. The three friends all gathered up their belongings. I can take you to Blue Bay at the edge of the Shadowlands, offered Thaddeus. Tag, Skyla, and Blaze climbed up onto Thaddeus's back. Thank you for your help, Skyla said. Thaddeus took them to shore. Peep, said Blaze. So it looks like the next piece is at Crystal Caverns. And Thaddeus is going to take them to Blue Bay by Shadowlands. So they have to go all the way across Paradia. Be careful, Thaddeus warned. Thorn grows stronger every day. He will stop at nothing to find the pieces of the Ember Stone. He swam away. Tag turned to his friends. We don't have much time, he said. Thorn's army will catch up with us soon. So, Skyla asked, where to next? North, Tag told her with a smile, to the Crystal Caverns. All right, you guys, so that is the end of the last Firehawk. So, if you want to find out what happens next, you can check it out from me at the library or the Petaluma Library, or go to Copperfields and look for number 2 of the last Firehawk. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great spring break.